At the pub, Rafe and Jada ask Sloane to come to the station for questioning about Paulina's trashed office. They lead her outside, past Nicole, who takes delight in the scene. In the square, Paulina gets riled up talking about Sloane with Channel and Talia. She starts patting her chest and gets short of breath. She sits, assuming she's having a heart attack. Talia tends to Paulina and leads her through breathing exercises. Paulina steadies herself and Talia explains she had a panic attack. After Paulina learns Talia's a doctor, she wonders why the hell she's working in a bakery. Talia gets Paulina chamomile tea and explains she just needed a change from medicine. She suggests Paulina follow up with her physician and see a therapist for her stress. Paulina says all her anxiety will melt away once Sloane is behind bars. Talia presses the therapist's suggestion, urging her not to pretend to be strong all the time. Trask bursts into the interrogation room, demanding to know what's going on. Sloane tells her Rafe and Jada are railroading her for a crime she didn't commit. Trask leads Rafe to the squad room, where he tells her about Paulina's ransacked office. She tells him Sloane has been a thorn in her side, so if he sends her this case to prosecute, it better be ironclad. It can't look like she's using her office to go after a professional rival. In Loy's apartment, EJ gives him a Salem Inn card for room 312. "You'll find your wife in my brother's bed," he says. Stefan breaks away from kissing Gabby in the hotel room, assuming EJ and Nicole set them up. Gabby can't believe she didn't see through Nicole, but suggests they can still enjoy the room. Stefan says there's too much at stake. She wonders what's next. Wait for Lai to charge in. Stefan has a better idea. After Trask gets called away, Rafe returns to Sloane in the interrogation room. They ask if she can verify her whereabouts when Paulina's office was broken into. She tells them she was home alone, but points out they don't have any evidence against her. They let her go, but not before warning her to stay away from Paulina. She issues her own threats regarding their perceived harassment and stalks out. At the pub, Eric leaves a message for Justin. He notices Nicole, who snarks how romantic it is that he called a lawyer for his criminal gal pal. Eric reminds her she has a rap sheet just as long as her boyfriend, EJ's. Nicole brings up his change in morals, leading Eric to remind her of all his recent losses, including the woman he loved. EJ enters. After exchanging words with EJ, Eric gets a text from Sloane and leaves. Nicole stares after Eric until EJ slaps her behind to jolt her out of it. Later, they toast with beers, which EJ grimaces over, to Lai, finding Gabby and Stefan together. Lai enters the hotel room and finds Stefan in bed with a dark-haired woman whose back is to the door. Lai yells at Stefan to get the hell away from his wife. Stefan jumps up and dresses as Lai yells for Gabby to face him. Melinda Trask rolls over and says, "Happy now?" Stefan smirks and says, "Whoops." Melinda puts on a robe as a confused Lai wonders what's going on. They remind him he's the one breaking into hotel rooms expecting to find Gabby. But Stefan says he's moving on since he can't have Gabby. And well, Melinda has needs and likes powerful men. After Lai leaves, Melinda saunters to the bathroom. She glances back at Stefan and says, "You're welcome." Lee comes home to Gabby, who thinks he looks like he's seen a ghost. He says he didn't expect to see her and asks about her dinner with Nicole. She tells him Nicole tried to set her up to get caught with Stefan, but she'd never risk losing Lee's Demira shares for a roll in the hay. She leaves him looking rattled. Back at the inn, Stefan flashes to telling Gabby that Melinda hates EJ as much as anyone and that she has a crush on him. In the present, Melinda tells Stefan she enjoyed tapping into her theater roots, especially if it meant bringing harm to EJ. He deserves to suffer after helping Kristen evade justice. Trask will call in the favor though, once Stefan and Gabby are in control of Demira. Stefan says whatever she wants is hers. She paws at him and warns him to be careful about what he promises. She wasn't lying to Lai when she said she's had her eye on him for some time. He reminds her his heart and body belong to Gabby. If things don't work out, she says, "You know where to find me." In the square, Paulina gets riled up again upon learning Sloane was released. Talia reminds her to breathe. Paulina thanks Talia for her help and leaves for her office. Channel shares her worry for Paulina. She doesn't know how much more her mother can take. Sloane returns home to find Eric already there. She rants over getting hauled to the station. He asks if she's guilty. She insists she's innocent. He says he believes her, but his expression suggests otherwise as they hug. Back at the station, Rafe and Jada share their sad meal plans for the evening. They awkwardly chuckle and Jada leaves. His gaze follows her out. At her office, Paulina tears down the crime scene tape and surveys the mess. She finds an envelope addressed to her on the desk. She opens a piece of paper containing pasted cutout letters. The message reads, "This isn't over, bitch." Days of Our Lives. Greg Vaughn reflects on the rivalry of a lifetime as Eric's caught between Nicole and the new Sami. Hello everyone, welcome to back my channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before starting the video, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. In the annals of soap opera history, few feuds have proven quite so vitriolic and intense as that of Days of Our Lives' Nicole and Sami. Heck, once upon a time, the two just couldn't get enough of each other, and by that, we mean they couldn't enough of tearing each other apart. Life seemed to calm down for Nicole once her nemesis skipped town, though things tend to get rocky whenever Sami returns. But after this last time, it seemed like Sami might actually be done with Salem for good. And Nicole's taken advantage of her exit to reconnect with EJ and get back to her scheming ways as they plot against Stefan and Gabby. And she's been able to do it without the added drama of having Sami try to claw her eyes out just for looking at EJ funny. But we guess maybe Nicole felt something was missing because she seems intent on adding some drama in with a new nemesis, Sloane. The two of them are like Sami and Nicole, Greg Vaughn noted when he spoke within their most recent issue, fighting all the time. But whereas before Nicole and Sami would butt heads over EJ, Eric is now the one caught in between two women. Because this time, it's Nicole who's ready to claw Sloane's eyes out for looking at, and sleeping with and rubbing it in Nicole's face, her ex, or, as Vaughn put it, a good catfight is always fun, and being in the center of it is even more fun. Part of that is probably Nicole just being completely flabbergasted that the Eric she once loved is hooking up with someone as morally flexible as Sloane. Heck, Greg Vaughn admitted to Digest that he felt much the same way. I didn't see that coming. Eric was in serious trouble and going down the rabbit hole, he acknowledged, and Sloane's a little vixen. She kind of weaved her web around him, and Eric found himself in a moment where there was nothing but benefits. One of those benefits, though, is certainly not the attention they're getting from Nicole. Then again, Sloane does seem to enjoy tweaking noses in town, and with as much experience as Nicole has with a feud like this, Sloane has proved more than a match in giving just as good as she gets. But if she's taking Sami's place in a feud with Nicole, does this mean that Eric and Nicole aren't as done as they keep insisting? If history is any indication, then that's a big yes, because it's not just the fact that they keep finding their way back to each other after years apart. If Nicole and Sloane are the new Nicole and Sami, and Eric is the new EJ, then this dance is just getting started. No matter how bad Nicole and Eric may be for each other, they're just as drawn together and doomed for failure as Sami and Nicole ever were with EJ. Sorry, EJ, but you aren't exactly clueless about how obsessed with her ex Nicole still is. The jury's still out over how bad Sloane and Eric are for each other, but at least for the moment, they're both having fun. But between her insistence that Eric take his career into his own hands and his ability to offer comfort in the rare moments when Sloane's defensive detachment slips, they might actually be good for each other. Well, good-ish. But Sloane better be ready to play the long game if she wants to stick it out with her hookup buddy, because it's almost a surefire bet that Nicole and Eric are far from over.